Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, I begin by giving all praises, all glory and honor.
Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakadash.
Of course, unto the apostles and the elders of grace, risking
Shalom.
their lives to do so. We say shalom to you, the prophets, the teachers, the men of the book, the men of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, pushing this doctrine in sincerity and in truth through the four corners of the earth as well. To you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
To the aquat sitting and listening in silence at home to their husbands, as said the law, in all subjection to you, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Couple brothers here from the Trinidad Heralds of Yahweh Shai camp, of the East camp, of the Heralds of Yahweh Shai. Couple brothers here again, coming out to do our daily camp, pushing this doctrine of Yahweh Ba'asham Shai. You know, bringing the truth to the people. Good afternoon. Bringing the truth to the people of Yasharallah, fulfilling that precept in the spirit of Elijah. Right? Bring it. Malachi is Malachi 4. This is 5 and 6.
The book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
And he coming and smite the earth any fucking way. You understand? When we was going into the other day, the Zechariah, it spoke about the chariot. Curse that fly throughout the earth, right? So he coming with his chariot, coming with his clouds, and them clouds not coming to just float and, you know, have condensed water come up in them and they fill up and burst out with water. And as a matter of fact, it's not good, right? And the earth has gone away. All nations have drunk of the fornication, the wine of the fornication of Esau-Edom. Esau-Edom is a nation known as the wicked. And of course, our people have gone away. There are wicked men that went out of Israel, right? They had gone away and turned away from Yahweh Shem Yashai, and they've become like the wicked. Just as the wicked, as a matter of fact, the scripture said that what? Scripture talk about
Wickedness. Let's make mention of what wickedness had exceedingly polluted the earth. Psalms chapter 12 verse make mention of what? The wicked walk on every side when the vilest of men are exalted. So we see, you know, as a result of the Lord giving the earth into the hands of Esau and Edom, where's the wicked nation in the earth today? What others do too, right?
and with all of that, what it led to, as the brother brought it out beautifully, is the children of Israel be gone off, right? And having gone off, one of the things that is a plague unto us is that our women will get in Deuteronomy. Get that, all right.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, reading at verse 56. It says, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them, for want of all things secret." They shut up. They gave the other nations.
Why? Because they would give themselves in submission and all subjection only if you could feed them properly. Only if you could buy the nice brands, you could get them the gold, make sure the hair do up, they had the edges together, they could get their eyebrows on fleek, right? Everything that these women want, not need, everything that they want to fit a particular lifestyle that is conditioned by Esau Edom in this society, they want to be at the pinnacle of it. And if you can't keep them on that, whether it's called a high maintenance, you're pulling on a shorty, she will say, hey, you could mind me? It's high maintenance.
The so-called don't want no broke niggas.
Yeah.
They don't want no broke niggas. Similar to what take place with Job. Because Job was a representation of what will happen to all the men of the Lord.
Yeah,
right? It's poverty, right? Affliction, right? A lot of things we're going through to the point where we can't, be the exalted nation within the earth
Yeah,
today.
Jacob, the scripture showed as the brother reading, the scripture showed that we will go to our enemy for the want of all things. Yeah, shalom. You go to our enemy for the want of all things. Good day. So, good day. So Jacob ain't having no dust. So all our women will go to the men who want dust. They're going to the Indian, they're going to the white man, they're going to the Chinese. They're not coming by the nigger man as they will call me. Because the nigger man to them is waste man. But they know the nigger man watching them and saying them is waste woman too. We don't want to because all the peace on us, all they just leeches. And then I think it's Apostle Taha did that video, I think it's yesterday or it's today. But I was watching it. I saw that talking about our women, all the want is to take quiet.
And our Apostle Taha favorite piece that
Come
because as you're saying here, the only respecting the heathen men in the earth to their wife, because them are the dust, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're like prostitutes in yourself, right?
Yeah, that's
giving up the goods to them, not to we, right? For dust.
Scripture said it could be a harlot in the street, right?
Yeah, they are Amos 7:17 in the NIV. Therefore, this is what Yahweh says: your wife will become a prostitute.
All our women are going to be selling their bodies, and we seeing it happen. The scripture, as I was telling earlier on, Yahweh Basham Yashai, he have to come. It's not because I say so, but because he said he's coming, right? He have to fulfill that which he said. Go ahead.
Right? Yeah, your wife will become a prostitute in the city, and your sons and daughters will fall by the sword. Your land will be measured and divided up, and you yourself will die in a pagan country, and Israel will surely go into exile away from their native land.
How it is you could take a city? How it is you could take a home? You have to what? What you have to do first? You have to bind the strong man first. So all the strong men of Yasharal are going to be bound. They're going to be destitute. They're going to be impoverished. They're going to be overtaken. Right? We're going to be heavily afflicted. And all the women of Yasharala will just run around dangling this golden fruit that they have, thinking that anybody will be willing to do anything to have it. And they're selling their bodies so that they could be well. And they don't care about the men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Who's that it?
Actually, point you're talking about Abaniah, brother Abaniah, right? He did a live lesson last night going into Edom. But Timyon and Levi
don't go on to them,
when a heathen man would go onto Dinah, right? So you see, that is something historical, right? We never ever wanted our women to be with these men.
We're not supposed to. That the scripture says that. Yahweh Shem shall give an instruction, right? Don't go unto the men and don't give your daughters unto them. Don't go unto the daughters of men, right? And don't give your daughters unto them. Go ahead. Bring it.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. It says, neither shall thou make marriages with them, that thou take unto thyself.
Have no children that should be coming in the earth through an Israelite woman that is not Israelite. That's not supposed to be happening. That is an abomination. Come on. That is an abomination. Go ahead.
Can't you see that it was so grievous unto me to the point where the Lord make it a law. These women, it had circumstances in which the heathen nation women could have come with me, but them had to come under the view. Most of the times was
due to servitude.
Yeah, wife
Right.
bondage,
Yeah, but I say it's a concubine, a wife to bondage, but it had no circumstance in which the daughter of Israel was supposed to go into the sea. Then we know if it's because we in captivity, that is a punishment unto us.
That's it.
Because think about it, brother.
That's what he said. That it will be a it will be a it will be a irksome going away unto another man. If you can't take man out of the earth, but you just turn your way and cry unto Yahweh Shem Yoshai. Because as you go into the house of mourning and to the house of feast anyway, so what are Yahweh Shem Yoshai going?
As brother said beautifully, right? The woman supposed to be a pillar of responsibility. Captivity would not be so captive if we women and them was acting right in it. Captivity would not feel so captive. Times would not be as bad if all that pain and pressure you go through and work, you could come home.
You have a bosom to go into.
Yeah, boy. You could get what you need without complaints.
Yeah.
It would not feel so bad. So the Lord had to do it ultimately. The Lord had to do it ultimately. Because what? We fill our rest, which is we women, right? They turn to our source and one into we. This second is just chapter 10 and reading from verse 20. Do not so, but be counseled by me. For how many are the adversities of Zion? Be comforted in regard of the sorrow of Jerusalem. For thou seest that our sanctuary is laid waste, our altar broken down, our temple destroyed. Our psaltery is laid on the ground, our song is put to silence, our rejoicing is at an end. The light of our candlestick is put out, the ark of our covenant is spoiled, our holy things are defiled, and the name that is called upon us is almost profaned. Our children are put to shame, our priests are burnt, our Levites are going into captivity, our virgins are defiled, and our wives ravished. Our righteous men carried away, our little ones destroyed, our young men are brought in bondage, and our strong men are become weak. And, which is the greatest of all, the seal of Zion had now lost her honor, for she is delivered into the hands of them that hate us. So what? What was once our pillar of rest has now become a source of mourning unto us, right? Our wives are ravished and our virgins are defiled among these heathen nations, right? All of this we're going through right now is just a source and next manifestation of the curses that you Deuteronomy 28:56 have to play out for this final time. When you read Baruch chapter 2 and go from verse 28 going down, it speaks about us being in the land of our captivity. So then we remember ourselves here. But if you're in the land of your captivity, there's a slave. There's a slave. Everything you own really belongs to a slave master. Right? These women have gone off and gone on to the slave masters. Right? As some here. The book 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy affliction.
That's it.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Right? Straight commandments the Lord Yahweh gave to Eve on how it is she was supposed to operate with her husband. And what that commandment was actually for all the daughters of Zion.
All the daughters of Zion.
Right.
Once you are of the seed of Israel,
Right.
you are the seed of Jacob, and this time you are supposed to live a particular way.
Right.
If you're not living that way, you're actually living in transgression. Transgression is what? Sin. Right? Transgression of the law.
Right.
When you do opposite, when you to what the law, good afternoon, what the law of Yahweh Shem Yahushai say to do. When you do anything other than that, you have transgressed, you have sinned. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is sending out the prophets here today. We are here letting the people know to come away from your sinful nature. Come back onto your Father. Come back onto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Come back onto your people. Our lesson today that we're bringing out is really reaching out to the women of Yasharala. Because while you're gone away, look, our sister Nopa's there and really want to talk to her to think, right? You're looking for no problems with them out here, right? Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, right? So being with our sister Nopa's a young sister, right? And that is what I'm talking about. She with her Elam, right? And next two pass earlier on, two young maidens and they pass and a fella in front of him. be effeminate. Right? Our people off the corner and the other nations, they're comfortable with that. They're comfortable with Israel being off of their status as the righteous holy nation. They're comfortable with that. Right? When Israel began to rise up now and we start to cry out and we say, hey, down with the Edomites, down with the Elamites, down with the Hamites, down with the Ishmaelites, down with all of them, because all they come and all they oppressed us. Now it's time for them to get oppressed. All they ball in mercy. Why we can't forgive, why we can't forget how much years ago that happened. Right? How many years ago it happened and our women still in all their arms. Right? We impoverished, we still can't come and dominate and have women submissive to us. The one thing that our women not given into is submission, you know. They're never submitting. And the only thing that will cause them to submit is when that curse go to and fro up in the earth. You understand? And Jacob's trouble in full swing. Then these women go come and say, oh gosh, Hananiah, I must make some trend for you and I ain't care if you could feed me or not, Hananiah. Pops done close the eye, you don't know what's going to happen. Little side joke. Right? Come on. That's the only time. It's only when all they fucking self.
The scripture said that in the day of thy part, thy people shall be willing. To them how they see the Lord power made manifest in the earth, whether it be through men, through the chariots appearing, through spirits sending shit up, through shit in stuff like that. Yeah, but I like to bring out that precept, the Sirach 39 from 28. The spirits are created for vengeance. Them things are disturbed in the earth for people to understand what's going on. And still they're not going to understand what's going on because it's after that through pain. That is when they're going to finally understand what's going on.
I'm going to bring the Timothy. I'm going to bring the Timothy now, Baba Kesha.
Yeah.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 2. I'll read from verse 9 because it's verse 9 from verse 9 to 15 mark up, right? In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. The woman and the Patra come out and they was calling it pum pum shots. Pum pum shots, a normal thing in society now. It was a unique sight to see a woman in a pum pum shot or a battery rider walking down the street. Because that wasn't the norm. It become the norm now. Right, within a matter of what, 20-something, 30-something years, right, all people gone, right, so these women and them, they're dressing scantily, the scripture is saying it here, modest apparel. What is modest to them? As long as you're not seeing the meth or you're not seeing the tits, that is all the body, all the belly could go, you could see cleavage, you're seeing shit back. No, I know what you look like without clothes on, it's just I'm not seeing your vagina and your tits. That is not the way you should be walking the road. You're going to have a daughter and you're going to be happy to know your daughter walking the road like that? So then why are you going to be happy for your woman to be walking the road like that? Because your woman's supposed to be an example to your daughter how women should live. That's the day. You read my mind. You read my mind. Generation of vipers, you call them. But it's not just them, but you know, they fall in that, right? Timothy kind after, right? Continue on, it says, in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with you don't need to be on the glamour and the glitz. You don't need to be seen. You don't need to let nobody know that you blinging. You don't need to let nobody know that you looking nice. You trying to get eyes upon you. That's the goal for all women in today's society. You want somebody to see you. You're walking on the road. And if somebody ain't watch you, somebody ain't see you, somebody ain't holler at you, you're feeling off, you're feeling ugly. But 10 men hollering at you, 20 men hollering at you, you're looking for opportunity to curse at them or to make them feel less than because you want to choose the best of the best.
Damned if you do, damned if you do.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Hey, that is welcome up, you know. Verse 10 says, which becometh woman professing godliness with good works. Let the woman learn in silence in all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve, man come first. no matter how a man say that, he could say it with arrogance, he could say it like a narcissist or a bigot, as well, whatever you want to call him or think. It is written, as it is written, it so shall it be done. A misogynist, yeah? All these things you want to call them. Most famous, no, the most famous one is narcissist. Yeah, they love to call, they love to use that word, narcissist. Yeah, that's the word, I've been called a narcissist many times. But when you're going to the meaning of the word narcissist, you're going to the word meaning of the word bigot, you're going into the meaning of the word misogynist, at the end of the day, that is where we are, because it's my way or the highway. And my way is not my way. My way is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai way. And it's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's way or the highway. So if you will line up with this, your bread butter, right? And that's exactly what's going to happen to many of them, right? Continuing back up.
1 John 11 and 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach.
The head of the man, every man, and that's not every man as in all nations, That's because you have a phone call here. What's the put it on? I'm doing a disturb. Right, go ahead.
And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is power. So that's the hierarchy there. Yahweh Shai, he representatives of the earth, right? The 144,000 men, the prophets, and then the woman subject and then the men. That's it. Study order, the Lord wife is the people, and the men of the Lord wife is the woman from the nation of Israel.
That's fine. The scripture says it's supposed to be a pillar of rest to us. So you give us rest. But the scripture says, well, this is not your rest, so we get
I see so much men. I know when it's happening, it's coming up on our yard with them. But yard with them, my belly. Some men, seen men watching, men coming home from work. And they say, long in the car, 2, 3, 4 hours. Don't want to go inside their own house. And when you see later on in the videos, because the wife come out recording him and asking him and arguing with him, why you don't want to go inside the house? Why you don't want to come inside? What's wrong with you? And that is why he don't want to come inside, because he had to be with your bitch ass.
Because he's a nag, or a nag, everything turned upside down, Everything upside down. The woman and them believe that it is their way or the highway. This wicked saying in the world, happy wife, happy life. And that is such a blasphemous thing to say. Because when them woman and them get chance to reign, everything does go haywire. It have no proper order in the place. Look right now in Trinidad and Tobago, what is going on? It have 2 women leading. We have a female president and a female prime minister. And a female opposition leader. They was trying to get a female commissioner. Yeah, she was active.
But you see, even in some of them more than passing women, they before and too. This is proof women not fit to rule. When think Esau them ruling, worst kingdom ever location feminism come about.
That's it.
He look like a formidable opponent before him. Now he's just laughing stuff.
He is.
The power he has given us, like that's what's totally like that.
Top fans. But yeah, that's what it is. Because it's the women that run and things. The scripture says what women and children shall be the oppressor. Right? Women and children. That's it. And that's what's going on in the earth today. Women are breadwinners, not men. Good day. Women are the breadwinners. A man can't get a good job no way. The man getting all the menial tasks.
Even in the agenda they pushing in the schools is women going after the science subjects.
The women and them who persevere in the science, in the subjects to do well in the system. Right? The system is catered to women. So the women and them will prosper in the society and a man suffering. So what they're doing? To these wicked women, men are just sperm donors. Yeah. And the vex if you get them pregnant, if you ejaculate on them, right?
Your intended purpose, or the greatest purpose you don't give on this that as surveillance when it's a make children. And you mad at that?
Can I add something? Oh, come bring it now, man. Don't be shy.
Because as I was saying, there is Proverbs 21 and 9. Better to dwell in a corner of a house top than with a dwelling woman in a wise place. That's why you don't want to go back inside the house because you fell up on you and you bitch ass. Remember when they was asking the question would you rather live with a man or with a babe or something like that? Or no, oh yeah, like let me say the world go to shit. Oh yeah, right? Where you think your survival chances is asking women they say, and all of them saying them rather in fucking Jacob's trouble situations. Them rather find themselves and the thing the chances better going at it with a bear and with a man.
Well, we go see.
First them marketing men like these great monsters, and I so love it that they're saying that because all you're waiting till shit to define to decide you don't want to be around you all no. So that's it you all know. I would like to speak to me. Speak to me please. Stay the fuck away from me. You're asking me that I know the truth.
Listen, surely your pressure causes it.
Right, surely your pressure make it a wise man, man. Yeah?
Listen, because with all this truth, good day. With all this truth, you ain't gonna hear men talking this radical about the situation with men and women. We gonna be upset because we don't like the fact that women have this dominating kind of stance in society. But society had conditioned men to be gentlemen, to be soft and gentle spoken to them. Get out of the way, good afternoon. Get out of the way for a woman to pass. Chivalry is dead! Chivalry is dead with Israel. Because listen, it's not like we intend to treat all women poorly. We ain't gonna treat our women like shit. Get the Ecclesiastes 9 and 9, right? You know I like to go there. Right? And then so like guess the rock 7 and 19. Tini GNT. Right? 7 and 19. That's all, you bring this over. Hold on,
because as you brother going into the 2006 World Cup final,
so no, you can't fix this. And yeah, it is fixed now. It is fixed. Bring the Ecclesiastes quick.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 9 in the NIV. Enjoy life with your wife whom you love.
Enjoy life with your wife who you love. Love your wife and enjoy her and enjoy the life with her. Go ahead.
All the days of this meaningless life that power has given you.
As meaningless as your life would be in captivity in today's society, you get a wife, enjoy her. Go ahead.
For this is your lot in life, and in your toilsome labor under the sun.
That is it. That is what the H.O.Y shall give you. You have a woman. It's not by your might, it's not your power. Alright, it's by the spirit of Yahweh shall you get a wife. And if get out a good possession. A wicked man.
So we see in the Lord he has
even the wicked hearted. Yeah.
When you see it's the Lord who handles it all. So you can't get a good possession from the Lord, especially one that is claiming subjecting yourself unto and then you get in shit.
Come on, she get a vexed she have a ram goat, they turn Billy goat ram. Come on. You can't be doing damn thing. You get so mad, she do something to get you vexed. You deal with she like being deal with Batman. Backbreaker. Can't do them thing.
The scripture also talk about dealing with them with wisdom, because the music you can listen.
Dealing with them with wisdom.
That's the
respect. Because we leaders for we not present ourselves as not perfect sinless, but we similar to how we are to go through shit. You think that men going through shit? They're going through worse shit than we. They go through shit and jump on them more and quicker than we.
The scripture said there's the word vessel. Come on, bring the Sirach 7 and 19.
It's the book of Sirach chapter 7 and verse 19. It says, forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold.
Yeah. So basically, have some, you might get one that might be alright, you know. The scripture talk about if she be pleased to dwell with you, right? You ain't had a fight, don't be a lion in your house, right? You see she ain't doing everything right, she running after you about Shem Yoshai the way she's supposed to be. You be about your father's business. You be about your father's business. And don't expect she as long as she's serving you, she's subjected unto you, and she doing what you say, she will line up with your Abba Shem Yoshai eventually.
Ultimately, but the Lord coming to break all of these women's
All.
So it's not if once you're a man of the Lord and you operating in the confines and it is pure religion undefiled, you operating in line with what the Lord want you to be, you living in wisdom, your wife will fall in eventually.
And if she don't fall in,
she'll fall in. The Lord could take she away with Ezekiel's wife.
come on.
Job,
Come
right?
on.
And look, Job get increased at the last end.
Come on.
I have a precept that real quickly.
Yeah, you were supposed to finish your precept though as well.
Time passed for that.
It passed for that
It's,
time.
Matthew 19 and verse 27. And then Peter and then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, you have forsaken all and followed me. What shall we have therefore? And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. So like I must say, you following after Yahushua. Right. If you really following after Yahushua, you're gonna get the rewards of Yahushua. Some shit is in the fan in your life. You gotta check to see if you're following after Yahushua.
No, not necessarily. Because remember the affliction, the curses will pursue you. Nonetheless, you see that's where you have to understand. Whether you get that in Sirach 2 tell what? Right, but what you need to do? So whether things going good or things going bad, Yahweh Hashem Yawashai.
Things work to the good of them that
all things work together for the good to them that fear Yahweh Hashem Yawashai, to them that are called according to his good purpose. And that is for Yasharala first and foremost. Right? So whether things going good with you and your little bird, hey, listen. Even if you have a concubine, and a concubine is a woman that is of another nation, in this time, you treat the woman properly now, boy. I don't know why it had this doctrine about Israelite men supposed to be beating the fucking wife and thing, boy.
And we even see that get testimony from the wife was getting all the way with them in this thing at the beginning. But as the brother continue and serving Yahweh Shem Yoshai, the Lord warm up she had towards him and she.
You beating up the woman for? The woman don't want to listen to you, you're beating she into listening to you. Well, you're on them ships all over again, huh?
Or better yet, we had a nice technique where and even no marks or nothing, you choke she out, she knock out, hey, get up, let me go again, choke she out, knock out, get up, let me go again. Because what, we have to understand more than just the scriptures as well. The domain we live in under. The Lord said, well, be in subjection to your earthly masters as they would your Father in heaven, and all authority is given of power. So in Esau kingdom, if you do that, you're gonna land your ass in jail. Why do it? Scriptures make mention of what? Doing nothing to cause shame to the ministry. If you could get up from Robbie Kusha, because the way I'm seeing that you're doing here is that when you do things like that, if you're doing them things, you're bringing shame to the ministry and the Israelites have a bad name and a bad rap. You've done bad already, you want to make it worse? Ministry be not named, look at that. Ministry be not named.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing, right? Because what's going to happen, and it's happening, right? Men of Yahweh Shem Yoshai in this time, right? You wake up to the truth, you're out of the highway, hedging on highways, you're preaching and teaching, you end up with a bird, and you're beating the bird. You're treating the bird unjustly, unfairly. The bird not adjusting to the multiple wife doctrine, and you're pushing it straight in your face. You're shoving it in your face. You're walking with this wisdom. You're walking with it in unrighteousness, and you're walking with it in foolishness. You're doing as the fool. The scripture say you have to walk with it in wisdom to the heathens, right?
Yeah, well, I'm walking wisdom to them that that are without.
To them that are without.
Job, I can't remember the precept. I think 3:24, the Lord had deprived her of wisdom.
Yeah, and Job 39,
39,
16 and 17, yeah.
Right. So the Lord had deprived women of wisdom. So what?
Bring it.
You had to walk in wisdom toward them, right? So the hand of wisdom plus Shetad plus is weak adversary can't make a life harder than it needs to be, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead, just now, let's bring this here. Bring from 30, 31.
In Ephesians 5 and 31, it says, "For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife."
Unto his wife. So you're forgetting about the people that raise you. Your father teacher, he groom you, he show you the ways of your Basham Yoshai. You go on now and you get a wife, and you're going to raise a family, and you're going to replicate what your father taught you with your wife and your children. And you're going to do it in love. Go ahead.
It says, "And shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh." Nevertheless, so like, this is a great mystery, but I speak concerning the Mashiach and the church because it's symbolic as well. He is the Lord husband. He is the Lord wife.
You are the bride.
You are the bride of the Lord.
Israel is considered a comely and delicate woman. And Jeremiah 3:14, turn no backsliding chair, for I am married unto you. Right, go ahead.
To think about it, if that be the case, we want the Lord to show you mercy. Or you could be dealing with your wife mercy and some mercy. Continuing, it says, "Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife."
Love your wife the same way you love yourself. It is instructed. Right, Matthew 4:4. Wait, see. This is the word of your Basham Yoshai. This come out of his mouth. Right? It is written of him. He come in the volume of the book. He is. This is it. Why you not hearing it? Finish that precept.
"And the wife see that she reverence her husband."
Come back from 33 again. It's 33. Come back from 33.
Ephesians 5 and 33. It says, "Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular."
Every one of you, be particular, be precise, be careful. Consider what you're doing with your wife. Wait, say.
"So love his wife, even as himself."
Love your wife the same way you go love yourself. The same way you would like yourself to be treated out there. The same way you would like for yourself to be treated by your brethren. The same way you would like for your wife to treat you. The same way you would like for anybody to treat you. Treat your wife that way. For your Basham Yoshai to treat you. Give your wife that honor. Because two become one. Say that right there. Anywhere your wife goes, she's a representation of you. You want to be beating your wife and everybody know you're beating your fucking wife. And when she walking down the road, people laughing and scoffing and mocking. Your wife feeling less than. The world will say something. The world out there in society, they say they could know. They could know a rich man or a great man by the type of people he have around him. Because the people they have around him got to reflect that wealth and that wisdom that you have. And that is your Basham Yoshai. When your Yoshai was here, all the disciples reflected the wisdom that he walked in.
When you got about Solomon was on the scene. His soul there was a king.
But it's not just that, boy. That one of them brothers we used to be around. He talk about. I remember when we first, even the servants, when Queen Sheba. Yeah. Oh no. I know what's going on the camera. Right. Queen Sheba, when she came looking for Solomon, what she do? She bumped up what? One of his guards or one of his servants, and she took him for Solomon. Why? Because of the array. He was in gold, in so much costly array. He looked so grand in grand splendor. A servant looked like a king. If a servant alone can look like a king, and you got deal with your servants, the men who serving under you, how much more your wife will be? Because your wife is an extension of you. And that is how Yahweh Basham Yoshai have the nation of Israel. Because we've married unto him. He intends to have the glory of Yahweh in the earth be seen through his people.
Continuing, it says, "And the wife see that she reverence her husband."
see that you reverence your husband. What does it mean to reverence your husband? Give him all the glory, all the power, submit to your husband. This is the thing, it comes right back to it. I am looking with the scripture talk about out of 1,000 he find one man, and out of that same thing he could not even find one woman. Good afternoon. One woman couldn't be found out of 1,000.
No, you land the year 1,000 wives. You know that? Because that's from experience.
From experience he could say. Then you know that what? That these women all gone. Right? Fulfilling that job. Go ahead.
I want to back it the women being gone. There's the book of Isaiah. There's the book of Isaiah chapter 3 and read in verse 16. Yahweh says, the women of Zion are haughty.
They're haughty, they're puffed up, they feel, they think there's the shit. We need all you. Entitled, yeah. Go ahead.
Are haughty, walking along with outstretched necks, flirting with their eyes, strutting along with swaying hips.
Looking down on people. A man call you, hey, good morning. You feel like he tried to climb into your back, climb in your clothes with you. You sting up your nose. You're haughty. Yeah, the prissy walk.
Yeah, that walk.
Right? Wherever she walk, like use Michael Jackson, right in Billie Jean, in the Billie Jean music video. Anywhere you walk, the ground lighting up now. Right? That is what going on with all you. Well, you know that video, right?
I know.
Excuse these brothers, they're kind of young. I'll go show them it. I'll get them up to power. Well,
yeah. So like just in a reading in your view, right? Strutting along with their swaying hips, with ornaments jingling on their ankles. Therefore Yahweh will bring sores on the heads of the women of Zion. Yahweh will make their scalps bald, seeing it today alone. See plenty of them pass, and their heads looking shameful pass.
But remember I told you when I went back down the road and I see female, first time we went, she told me I was wrapped. And the second time, when me and the brother went back,
Oh, yes.
she hair was unwrapped, you know. And it's a big patch here.
Oh,
right.
Right.
Right?
You see after that? You see that?
You see that?
Full
But
of
they-
weed.
Yeah, because they get dust, you know. They get dust.
Yeah.
They get dust, so they went and make sure they're looking good.
Yeah, so that the curses of Zion, right?
The Lord allowed the curses to make a multi-billion-dollar industry. You know how much is how much money that they take this, the hairdressing, the fucking equipment, the hairdressing, and the weaving of itself. It's a multi-billion-dollar
That's so
industry.
yeah, what you're talking about. That multi-billion-dollar industry is a facade, you know. Because I don't know if all you noticed, back when we was with the other men in the other camp,
Right.
the short dark-skinned brother,
Yeah.
right? I used to do a lot of videos with that brother,
Yeah.
right? And that brother had a thing for going after the women of Yasharala. That was one of his things, right? He always want to do videos of them and do videos about them, right? Wherever the reasons are. But we did a video pointing out, you know, when we do the video, we still do the research and things, we still coordinate well, right? So like, you know, I do have a camera stand today, so you know, the phone falling a little bit. Or let's just bear with me. Right, so like, yeah. Right, but I was talking about, you know, yeah, we do the research, and in the research, my channel, right? There are a lot of videos on this channel. But one of the videos showing you that a research was done into all the weaves and wigs in the multi-billion-dollar hair industry throughout the entire earth, and not one of them is found to be real human hair. None of them. None of them. They are all synthetic. Here, when this hair come off your head, it is not connected to the source of its nutrients of its life. It will become, it cannot last and have that luster and sheen that them false hair. It's human hair. Moab again. Moab just take these fucking these plastics, these black plastic, right? And they will show you how they're making it, and they're just pulling it and making it long string, and they're cutting it, and they're manufacturing the thing. Some they go tell you it's human hair, they're selling it as human hair, and just because they package it and say this is human hair, all the dumb females believe it's human hair, and taking it and walking all around the place, and you know who wearing weave, and wigs, and braids, and false hair more than any other woman in the earth? Eve, so that it's forwarding the affliction of that curse that is to come upon all over that baldness.
Because I just say that, right? I thinking about it. It's like plastic, right? And you put it down your head, and the sun beating down your head, you getting yourself cancer.
Ah, there we go, Jake. You're getting it.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
Because it have a vibration behind here too. If it's animal here, you have on your head.
And you have that wicked food.
Yeah, no, even if it doesn't, you have animalistic tendencies upon it.
You're putting that energy in it.
You're putting that energy on it. So these bitches on them, that's what they're about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, these bitches on them don't understand what they do.
There's verse 18. In that day, Yahweh will snatch away their finery, the bangles and headbands and crescent necklaces, the earrings and bracelets and veils, the headdresses and anklets and sashes, the perfume bottles and charms.
No, they like to dolls up. And when all they handle that, watch how Eve is in Trinidad and Tobago. Listen now, Eve in Trinidad and Tobago, she don't have none of them things you're talking in. None of them ornaments to put on. You know what she go do? She go put a certain powder on she chest, look like she going on fire, and she glad with fucking that. All them must have something to make all them feel all the dolls up. But you know Pennywise not going and get the supplies just now.
Hey!
That's it, man. We had to go. When Jacob Trouble come and shit.
See, I feel like she hammered, right? But she looks so pretty here. She has she hair do up, she eyebrows on fleek. Everything, she has she makeup and everything. She looking nice, man. You see the thing? And the caption is, this is what I look like before pregnancy. This is what pregnancy to me. If you see the gorilla looking thing, the contrast is a totally different person.
And select them to fuel and they hate towards children. Because they're gonna blame pregnancy.
How much children died within the last week or two? Within the last week or two, right in Trinidad and Tobago, a father chop off his daughter's head. Right in in Far Rivers, chop off his daughter's head. What about some years ago, right in Maloney here, the man chop off his daughter, chop off his stepdaughter and slap she in a barrel, and he went around look. Child missing for days, people looking, and he walking around with his search party looking for the child. And Jake just waiting for the opportunity to throw the child away. He could not get to throw the child away. Got all eyes on him. And the child stuffed in a barrel and the body started to smell. They go on with you, he rotting away in a cell right now. These children coming back to experience the judgment nonetheless. So fuck it. Right? So what I have a shun.
That's something about Lamentations 4 and 10, because this is going to be more apparent in the times we are living into. It says, the hands of pitiful women have sodden their own children. Lamentations 4 from verse 3, it says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel.
It's become cruel. Go ahead.
Because what? They say even the sea monsters. So the Lord likening the cruelty of these women to be worse than that of literal monsters. And they're looking like monsters as we aren't it. Because when all that makeup and all that shit gone, they can see the real face of these bitches. So what? They're gonna look like how the character is. They act and think and move like monsters. Now they're gonna look like monsters.
Talking about one recently. That is actually own up. Hey, next time you talk with that female, come out plain and let she know she's a demon. Let she know that it behave like demon. And watch how they react. I have not met a woman to this day, since I've come to know the truth, I've not met a woman to this day that I've spoken to and like none to a demon and she take offense. They doesn't take offense. They doesn't have to say.
They don't take offense.
They don't take offense.
There's only- there's only-
I have not met one. Shalom. I have not met one. They just admit that they're wicked. They just admit that they have been wicked. And if they're not admitting that they're wicked, they just admit that women does be wicked. They know that they're wicked to men.
Let's be honest.
They fuck their honesty. We want them to stop, but they're not going to stop. The only time they go and stop is when that curse come upon the earth again.
And I did. Maybe a little bit before that. She got trouble.
Come on, because it's a curse. That is a curse. During Jacob's troubles, you go see signs and wonders. Come on.
So it's like the ostriches in the wilderness.
Ostriches.
Ostriches, so jumping down to verse 10, it says the hands of pitiful women have sodden their own children, so they go from not even feeding their own children, they will suck until their own children to nourish and sustain the babies.
A couple years ago, a couple months ago, the woman in Babylon, she cooked her child in the oven. Come on, she had her child baking in the oven. Go ahead.
Continuing, it says, they were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. So when she take the fan and the sieges come, you're going to see the true nature of these bitches. You're going to see, they're going to eat. And it happened before. And,
King.
King.
Yes,
you
King.
think it?
That is it.
I was thinking about when I read Babylon to Timbuktu.
Right.
The events at Mount Masada, they document women eating the fucking
But
children.
that's exactly what went on in the book of Kings, right? When they was besieged, they
So
say,
I
I
eat
go
my
eat.
child today, I'm going to eat yours tomorrow.
And how that
They eat the child today. The next day she do time pass. She went and tell the woman, hey, well, I'm hungry now. I remember we promised to eat your son. Where for? She said, she ate your son. She said, not fucking me. My son. She started making noise. The king want to know what is back and going on here. She said, I'll eat my son and you have to eat you.
The king rent tea fucking
Yes. Look how the people go here, man.
I think that king was in a wicked king too.
Yeah.
Imagine his reaction to that, and he was one of the wicked kings. Man, rip off your cruise, what the fuck is this?
It's madness.
But much greater he was going to multiply in your trust and telling you. The thing that was bad, it's going to happen to a greater level, a greater extent.
Because what happened back then, as the scripture says, a shadow of things to come. Right?
Yep. They continuing here. There is Isaiah 3 and reading verse 21. The signet rings and nose rings, the fine robes and the capes and cloaks, the purses and mirrors.
All they like to use to dolls up and look pretty nice and feel all they looking good. Feel all they looking good for somebody to watch all and next girl to watch and envy. That's what they're talking about. Go ahead.
Right? Cloaks, purses and mirrors, linen garments and tiaras and shawls. Instead of fragrance, there will be a stench.
A stink.
Instead of a sash, a robe, instead of fine clothing, sackcloth, instead of beauty, branding, your men will fall by the sword.
Your men will fall by the sword.
Your
Your
warriors,
men are not walking in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Shalom. Your men not walking in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so they will fall. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is our strength. If he is not your strength will fade.
Your strength could be hunger a bit too.
That's right.
The scripture make mention of. So once you don't have that protection from your man, that is your bread, we like to say it, bread butter on both sides.
both sides.
Two sides your bread butter.
Toasted.
Your toasted is when the end lights.
Come on.
Yeah.
Toast. Come in. No matter. You're in the oven and all they do even know. All they in the oven and toast on both sides. Well done.
Your men will fall by the sword. Your warriors in battle.
Nobody to fight fair.
Second Ezra 16.
That's right, that's it. That's it.
Right, the virgin shall mourn having no. You haven't heard it? Jump to verse 18 first. Right, second Ezra 16, then at verse 18, it says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear. At the beginning of wars, right? So the wars coming, I show you here about the drafts. Right? The beginning of evils. What shall I do when
Hold on,
these...
it's not just the wars coming, the wars done here. No?
Yeah.
Matthew 24 says, when you see all these things at the beginning of a time of great sorrow, it's the beginning of it. And he going into what's going to happen when it comes into fullness. The fullness of it, it's been going on a while now, you know. And look, we've seen it playing out. And the brother talk about the draft. Because these men gonna go out there and they go have nobody home. Who gonna stay home? Because they're gonna take your sons and your husbands, the able-bodied sons of age.
Like that man on Instagram right now, me saying you will not go to World War III or you will go to World War III. Unless you're a man of the Lord, bless me, leave your ass get in trouble.
World War III going on long fucking time. We just waiting for the end. Our King, our Redeemer, has prophesied what is going to happen at the end of it. World War III going on long fucking time. Only now waking up to this.
Like scripture said, second war is past and the only
Third war coming quickly.
This third world war is actually a revival of the Cold War, but on a greater standard, much more nations involved, much greater weaponry.
That is why it's called World War. All the nations need to be involved.
Isaiah 9, but this war shall be with fuel and burning and fire.
What is the greatest threat to Israel? To the nation of Israel as it is today? What did it say? Huh? The state of Israel. What did it say? The greatest threat is the young black men in America. But it's not just them. They're talking about the Israelites. Right? The so-called black Hebrew Israelites. That is us. That is you all who listening and believing and preaching and teaching just as the same as us. So what are you about H.O.Y? So what they're going to talk about the cup is, all they come up, scripture talk about a great insurrection upon them that fear H.O.Y. What do you think that mean? Why do you think the scripture Isaiah 59:19? Why do you think it's such a great comfort when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up her? Come on, we waiting for that standard and then Michael shall stand and fight. We waiting to see that. We pray in H.O.Y. that he will send his deliverance unto his people. Right? We praying to see spiritual power work. We praying to see supernatural abilities take place. Right?
It says the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Jumping down to verse 33. It says, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers.
Well, they're going to cry and mourning. It's not all them mourning like, I'm missing him. No, that
For in the world shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of
that's
famine.
it. That is why the mourning come in. You mourn for the death of people. You're not mourning just so. You're not mourning because your husband gone to work and he coming back home later. Your husband gone away and he coming back in 5 months. That is not a reason for mourning. You just mourn for the dead. Like when you just take time of bereavement and you just cry and you just lament and you just miss and you go through all kind of thing to make sure that the body taken away and the body buried properly and all that kind of nonsense. Right? But that is the mourning period. That is where you're going to be mourning because these men are going to be dying out there. Go ahead.
Isaiah 3, continuing, the gates of Zion will lament and mourn. Destitute she will sit on the ground in that day. Like destitute she will sit on the ground, and then going right into Isaiah 4:1. That day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we'll eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name and take away our disgrace.
To take away our disgrace. The disgrace, well, we could go into that. That one precept alone, there's be a whole lesson. Right? That will be a whole lesson because I'll just break it down wrong and all it doesn't understand what it means, to marry. What they mean when they say they will marry, right? Marrying is sex, right? Copulation. To take away a woman's disgrace, the scripture I read it earlier, she shall be saved by childbearing, right? That is how when Hannah conceived, she said what? She prayed and she said to Father, Yahweh taken away her reproach. Even Sarah. Is Sarah here? Sarah. Come on. Right? Yahweh Hashem Yoshai took away her reproach. Even Rebecca. Right? Rebecca.
She was mourning because she couldn't have a son.
She couldn't have no son and she inquired of the Lord. Right? And Lord entreated her. Right? He took away her reproach. So what are Yahweh Hashem Yoshai? Right? A woman with a man, or let's jam him for years, you're married, you have a husband, and you can't make children, there's a waste woman. That's what women does make mess of you, they reproach you. You know what? Let's just bring last precept there, and then we close off. It's getting dark here.
Jeremiah 30 from verse 4. These are the words Yahweh spake concerning Israel and Judah. This is what the Lord Yahweh says. Cries of fear are heard, terror, not peace. Ask and see, can a man bear children? Then why do I see every strong man with his hands on his stomach like a woman in labor? Every face turned deathly pale. How awful that day will come, but he will be saved out of it.
That is not just Jacob, that is not just a man, that is the nation of Israelites. The Israelites, they are likened unto the same name Jacob. His name was Jacob before his name was changed to Israel. Esau, our enemy, his name was Esau before his name was changed to Edom. And the people that are of him, they are the Edomites. We are of the Israelites. The nation of Israel is likened unto Jacob in that scripture there. And Jacob is whom they will be coming to take over. Jacob is whom they coming to destroy again. Jacob is whom they always wanted to destroy. Psalms 83, it showed that they came together in one confederacy so that we will no longer be remembered. We will no longer be remembered as a nation. We would want us to forget our heritage. Jeremiah 17 and 4, I believe. Right? Discontinuing our heritage. They did a great work on us, but the scripture caused us to be revived. The Yahweh Shai showed that the scripture would have been fulfilled in this time. In the land of our captivity, we would call upon his name and we would praise Yahweh Shai in this time. Isaiah 58 and 1, we lifting up our voices like a trumpet, we're sparing and we're showing our people their sins. And with that, we'd like to end this lesson by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakatash.
and we give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. To them we surely give all the double honors. They are the ones that surely do rule well, pushing this doctrine in sincerity and in truth throughout the four corners of the earth, risking their lives to do so. To the Akim by the hedges and highways, the teachers, prophets, pastors, they and all pushing this doctrine in sincerity and in truth, risking their lives to do so. To you we say shalom. To the Akwat sitting and listening in silence at home, in all subjection to their husbands as saith the law, to you we say shalom. To the speckled foreigners of Yasharallah, those that are Israelites and do not know they look like the other nations, to you we say shalom, shalom, labakariam, and abad babal.
Shalom.